evening, folks. Dr. Freedom here with you. Time some Doctor News. News from in and around the universe that'll make you so happily, so spontaneously excited, and so bubbly and tingly inside. It'll remind you of that time when you were a kid and you whizzed on an electric fence. Lots of interesting stuff going on that's just popped over the last couple of days. Of course, you know, we're that much closer now to the Doctor Who Christmas special, and feelings are really weird. You know, there's people who are looking forward to Jodie's first appearance, but at the same time, we're all about to cry our freaking eyeballs out because it is the end of an era in Doctor Who. You know, the Capaldi era is about to come to an end, and the way it is sounding, it's going to be a thrilling tearjerker. It's this whoosies. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get onto it. For someone goes, why are you dragging around already? It's been 3 minutes. I was just come here to watch this video, see some stuff about David Tennant. I actually got that in a comment, and I'm like, well, then why'd you hang around for? You come here. Yeah. Come sit down and sit on Uncle Freedom's lap. Oh, let's get to it before we get too weird. All right, move it. All right. Now, this is the motion picture thing. Oh, hang on. The problem is I shouldn't play it because I'll get copyright struck. But if you want to go see it, I'm going to give you the link to go to this one here on Twitter at Doctor Who Australia. I know it's probably popped up a few places around, but this was the only place I could find it on the fly. I saw this earlier today, and it's pretty creepy, but at the same time, it's really cool because, you know, it's just, oh, look. And it's got some really morbid sounding music to it, too. So, be sure to go check this out. All right, and speaking of that, over on the BBC Media Center, they have thrown out basically what's going to be going on, a feast for all the family to enjoy across the Christmas season. And they, of course, talk about Doctor Who as well as many, many other things that'll be airing over the holidays on BBC. So if you want to run through this, boom, there it is for you. All right, moving on. Okay, what clues does the new Doctor Who picture hold about the Christmas special? And this is where they go into a bunch of wild speculation that half of it probably won't matter. But, you know, they have spotted some really interesting things like, you know, well, remember when Bill's jacket suddenly had patches on it? That was alluding to future events that was going to happen on the show. That's one of the things they allude to also. Notice lightning bolt and oh looky. Could that stand for a certain diner? Yeah, so that's what they're hitting at there. And some other things like Bill's sparkly boots. Really? Maybe she just wanted to go out in the snow and look fabulous. You know, so you know, the Doctor's battle scarred coat. Well, all right, blah blah blah. And of course we already know what that means anyway. Okay, so if you want to go take a little fun, little speculate, you'll see what they said. Bam, here it is. Moving on. Okay, here's the new image and synopsis. The magical final chapter of the 12th Doctor's Peter Capaldi journey sees the Time Lord team up with his former self, the first ever Doctor, David Bradley, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, and returning Bill Potts, Pearl Mackie, for one last adventure. Two doctors stranded in an Arctic snowscape, refusing to face regeneration, enchanted glass people stealing their victims from frozen time, and a World War I captain destined to die on the battlefield, but taken from the trenches to play his part in the Doctor's story. An uplifting new tale about the power of hope in humanity's darkest hours. Twice upon a time marks the end of an era, but as the Doctor must face his past and decide his future, his journey is only just beginning. Oh, God, how did I fade into Robin Leach again? So, boom, 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 written by Moffat, directed by Rachel Tully, executive produced by Brian Minchin, 60-minute guest stars. The 60-minute special guest stars Mark Gatiss as, of course, the captain. Nikki Amuka Bird will be voicing the voice of the Glass Woman. So, boom, boom, and, of course, it's due, of course, on Christmas Day on the BBC one there. Boom, maybe. Now here, let's keep going. Pearl Mackie has been confirmed for a CBeebies bedtime story. So, boom, 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 so here we go. Has landed a coveted spot reading a CBeebies bedtime story. She'll be reading the story on Christmas Eve. In fact, her chosen book is Interstellar Cinderella by Deborah Underwood and Meg Hunt. It's described as the retelling of a classic fairy tale with a heroine who dreams of fixing space rockets. With a little help from her fairy god robot, Cinderella is going to the ball, but when the prince's ship has mechanical trouble, someone will have to fix it. So interesting stuff right there. Keep your eye out for Showtime. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, moving on. Now, as I said before, Doctor Who fans are experiencing some very complex emotions ahead of the Christmas special. And this shows just some of the tweets, and whatever out there in the Twitter land. It's a mixed bag. It's a mixed feeling. Of course, you get a little excited. You look forward to the new doctor coming in, but at the same time, you feel sad for the doctor you've grown to love that is going to be going out. And all I can say is this: I'm really hoping Peter Capaldi signs up to do Big Finish very soon. I really do, because I think there are so many stories that they could tell with him, and he had such a blast doing Doctor, especially as you can see in the little bits we've seen of Twice Upon a Time, you see that gleam in his eye. He's like a kid in a candy store. Just imagine what he'd be like, with the old Doctors 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and all that, in those retelling of those tales. That would just be fabulous, man. It really would. So that's what I'm hoping is he's going to sign up for Big Finish eventually. Wait a minute, that guy's still around? All right, Crocodile Dundee. All right, moving on. Speaking of that, has nothing to do with Australia. Guess what? Twice Upon a Time will show in Canadian cinemas as well. That's right. Cineplex in Canada have announced that they will be showing the Christmas special Twice Upon a Time in cinemas across the country on Wednesday, the 27th of December, 12:30 p.m., and Thursday, the 28th of December at 7 p.m. As well as the episode itself, the 100-minute program will include 2 bonus presentations, and they go into all that right here. Blah, blah, blah. Participating cinemas and booking details can be found via the Cineplex website right here. So, looks like Australia's getting it in cinemas. Canada's getting it in cinemas. UK ain't. Well, I'm not kidding. I'm just joking. I've heard a lot of people complaining about that. So, okay, Paul McGann, Jodie Whittaker is the best actor for the role. Once again, we have another. Well, I consider him be classic because even though he kind of sits on the borderline there with just the one movie in 1996, he was still the last 20th century doctor. You see. Oh. So I kind of consider him being one of the classic doctors anyway, even though he got shafted and should have gotten more than 7 minutes in the anniversary year. But that's my whole opinion. That's a whole other thing. Okay. All right. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, was pleased that the Broadchurch actress was taking over the leading role. I completely, utterly, thoroughly approve. A couple years ago, I thought that if and when Peter Capaldi calls it a day, they would be missing a trick not to cast a woman. I'm really pleased that they have done the right thing. She's the best actor for the role. In a year or two from now, it won't be a novelty anymore. People forget that it was ever contentious, and that's how it should be. So, ha, 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 hey, hey, hey. Well done from the McGann. So, and he goes on to some other stuff right there. Paul McGann, always frelling working, man. All right. Matt Smith comments on a possible Doctor return, and nobody gave a shit. Now, I'm only kidding, okay? People think I seriously hate Matt Smith. I pick on him, okay? I just a little. I just like to make fun of him. The poor guy ditched Doctor Who early, thinking he was going to land a movie career. And please don't tell me this is not true, because if you'd seen, I'm going to have to go up my old hard drive and dig up the report where originally he was going to leave a year before the 50th anniversary. He was telling this reporter about he was finishing up his current season of Doctor Who and he's coming to Hollywood because his buddy Andrew Russell Garfield had landed Spider-Man. And we're talking multi-million-dollar Marvel movie deal. And he was like, money. Yeah, I gotta get that money too. Then it did not work out. I wonder how long for he's doing dinner theater. No, Matt's still working. Might we see Matt Smith again on Doctor? Here's how we say about possible blah, blah. He goes, yeah, why not? I'd come back. If the timing was right, you got to give a few years to Mrs. Whittaker. They're sort of get the TARDIS under her belt, as it were. And then, yeah, one day. Look, I'll be back one day when I'm old and gray, which isn't far off. So, okay, Shada and some other bits and bobs from the press screening. This is just some stuff about what was going on with that whole Shada thing. The Shada thing. Right here. Oh, and we go to this. Oh, speaking of Shada, this was a Easter egg that they had thrown in. So if next time you're watching the new animated Shada, take a look at that conspicuous blue car sitting out on the street and read the license plate. JWIT 13. Yeah. So Okay, so keep your eye out for that car. Moving on. All right. So some bits and bobs from Shada, and they talk about, some other things that are included with it. It's not a huge article, but boom, I figured throw that in there for you. Big Finish nominated in BBC Audio Awards. Now let's get to it. Bam. All right, here we go. Okay. The first nomination is for legendary actor John Hurt, and for his performance as Griffin in H.G. Wells' The Invisible Man. And that is, you have got to listen. It is thrilling awesome. The final nomination in the same category is for the Big Finish adaptation of King Lear. Now, while this is not Doctor Who related, Big Finish is well known for their Doctor Who, range. And, it's just amazing stuff, especially John Hurt as the War Doctor in the War Doctor box sets. You got to listen to those. All right, Lethbridge Stewart, The Lost Skin. Kenny Jar Books have announced the next in its limited edition Lethbridge Stewart novel Arrange. Boom, boom, boom. If you want more info about it, here it is. Wham, wham, wham. The Lost Skin is now available for pre-order as a limited edition hardback and is only available directly from Candy Jar Books, boom, and the Lethbridge Stewart website. Wham. All right, moving on. And lastly, for today. Now, this was one I missed a while back. I threw it on here for shits and giggles because this is the Sheffield Stream. The Sheffield Stream. It almost sounds like a magazine about how to take a whiz in Sheffield. The Sheffield Stream. No. And it just goes over some of the stuff that went on in and around the filming that took place there back on the, back in that day. So if you want to go check this out, I threw it on just for shits and giggles. Okay, so Christmas special coming up. This Saturday on the Omega Files, we're doing Shada. Originally, we were going to do something else. I decided to cancel it. It's just, I'm getting a bit, old, and I'm doing stuff on a whim now. Lines have gone out for Chapter 3 of Dr. Freedom, and Eric comes the Imperator. And things are going to get a lot weirder. So if the 4 or 5 of you who are listening to that are interested, that will be coming out hopefully shortly, because I want to get out at least Chapter 4 before Christmas if possible. So I don't know. I just want to thank all of you who are still hanging on here, still jumping on. And of course, go out, tell your friends. The most advertisement I actually do is I share the videos around on Facebook. I share them around on Twitter. I don't pay for advertisement. I don't pay for that Google move my video up bullshit that a lot of these other channels do. And it's just, all it's been's word of mouth. And here we are coming up on 3,600 subscribers. Over 2,000 and something likes or some pair of people on the Dr. Freedom Facebook page. Coming up on 1,000 subscribers on Twitter. I think we're well over. I have to go check what it is on Hoovy and Zamino right now, but it's skyrocketing. And I just want to thank each and every one of you out there who participated. Go Freedom Train. See you on the flip side. Take care.